Hi, everybody. My name is Peter Barron. I look after external relations in EMEA. And I realize that I'm the person who stands between you and a drink and dinner. So I intend to be fairly brief. I saw that none of you skipped the ad on beer a moment or two ago. I'm a journalist by background. I worked at the BBC for many years. And I don't know about you, but I used to spend sometimes, from time to time, thinking about why do I do journalism? What am I trying to achieve by doing that job? And the way I sort of explained it to myself was, well, look, my business is trying to produce high-quality information. And if people have that high-quality information, they can make better decisions, and that's good for society and good for the world at large. That's how I rationalized it to myself. And when I moved to Google about 3 years ago, I realized that Google was trying to do something very, very similar, but trying really to do it on a global industrial scale using the power of technology. So I'd like to just talk to you very briefly about some of the things that we're doing to try to achieve those ends, and also to talk about some of the partnerships we're involved in with other organizations, and most importantly, what people are doing to use the tools to provide technology for good. So that's our goal there, is to develop services that significantly improve the lives of as many people as possible. This is something we've done in Japan recently and in other disaster zones over the last year or so. And unfortunately, there's been an awful lot of such things in Haiti, in Japan, and most recently in Christchurch. And this is a very, very simple tool indeed. But of late, we've managed to get it up within a couple of hours of a disaster happening. And really, it's a database. You put in your details, you explain where it is you are, and then you can search for other people by their mobile phone or by their name. And in that way, we can help people locate their friends and family. And we're delighted to say that in several cases, we actually brought people together who were lost. That's Person Finder. This is something that we've done using Insights for Search, which Rick, I think, showed you earlier, his lipstick example. This is exactly the same principle, except it's much more useful. What we've done with flu trends and dengue trends is that when we know that when people search for things, they obviously are interested in finding out more. So if you think you've got flu, or think you might be coming down with something, you're likely to search for flu symptoms or perhaps for flu remedies. And we started to compare those trends with trends which existed in the official databases, and we discovered that they're extremely similar. So you can see there on the graph, you've got two lines. One shows the United States Center for Disease Control outbreaks and flu epidemics, and the other shows our estimate of when we think flu is going to be at a height based on people's search activity. And what's very interesting is that we are finding that we're 2 weeks ahead of the curve, because people are obviously searching for information about flu remedies and symptoms 2 weeks before they go to the doctor. Here's something that we've been doing in several countries around the world. This demonstrates something in Afghanistan. One of our tools is Map Maker, and that allows individuals to use our mapping tools to map their country. And you can see there, until very recently, basically no information at all about Afghanistan. Now, 6 students at Herat University, they got together and they decided to map Afghanistan. They created a project called Let's Map Afghanistan. They gathered a lot of volunteers together, and within a matter of weeks, they had actually mapped several cities in the country, including Kabul. And now that has been transferred into Google Maps for anyone around the world to see. And I think this image kind of sums up what we're trying to do with Google. You've seen an awful lot of tools today, some very, very high-tech and clever pieces of technology, but it boils down to the simple point that unless there is high-quality information to be searched for, to be found, then the best search engine in the world is not of great value. So what we've done in this case and in many, many other cases is to partner with institutions aimed at producing high-quality content. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of that. The first one, very, very recent indeed. This is something that has been launched within the last couple of weeks, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Discovered in 1947, on show at the Israel Museum since 1965. Anybody in the audience has seen them in the flesh, so to speak? Has anybody actually gone to see the Dead Sea Scrolls? One person at the back there, I think. I haven't seen them either, and they're extraordinary things. And I suspect even if you could go to see them, you couldn't see them in a vast amount of detail. But what we've done, and I think if we switch over to the internet now, this is a live page. Can you switch? Yes, we've now got a live page which shows the Dead Sea Scrolls. And as you can see, I can mouse over all the verses. And imagine I'm a scholar looking at the Dead Sea Scrolls. I can then click on that, and it will translate the words that appear in the original Hebrew, which is something that could never be done before by anyone, even someone visiting the scrolls, and now can be done by almost anyone around the world. And then you can zoom in on the text and see the original animal skins that they were printed on or written on. Pretty extraordinary. Excuse me. And this is something that we're doing, if we can flip back to the presentation. Can we flip back to the slides? That's it? Perfect, thank you. So this is something that we're doing in libraries across the world, including the Czech National Library, some 200,000 books digitized in their original form, and scholars can go in and look at exactly how these books appear. But we're going further than that, and again, perhaps we can switch back to the live pages. I imagine most of you, if not all of you, have been to the Kampa Museum here in Prague. Quick show of hands. You've all been. I've never been. I'm hoping to go tomorrow. But this is the art project, which I hope some of you have seen, partnering with 17 galleries around the world. And this is actually something that was done as a so-called 20% project within Google. You may know that we allow our members of staff 20% of their time to indulge in their personal passions and work up products based on that. A group of people at Google came up, they were passionate about art. They said, wouldn't it be great to be able to share this material around the world? And in about 18 months, they managed to create the art project. So I think if we can go to the live pages, there we are. I've never been to the Kampa Museum, but last night I managed to take a little tour and had a bit of a wander around. I'm particularly interested in the famous cathedral painting there. In we go on that. And if I press on this little cross here, let's see if I can get there, it'll take me to a detailed view of that, and then I can zoom in on that and get really, really close. This has got many, many millions of pixels, far, far higher resolution than even the best digital camera, and I can go right in. I can see the cracks in the paint. I can see the brush strokes on the canvas, and hopefully I will get to see the real thing for real tomorrow. And when we launched this in London, a few journalists said, well, isn't this going to mean the end of galleries? Who would want to go to a gallery anymore when they can see it in such great detail and such high resolution online? The truth is, of course, that the gallery owners, they know that enthusing people and showing people a taste of this will bring in many, many more people to the galleries in due course. So they're delighted with that. We've got 17 partners up and running at the moment. We've recently launched a cultural institute in France whose pure aim, using software engineers, will be to build more products like this. So we hope to expand the art project and to bring many more projects like the Dead Sea Scrolls online in due course. And of course, we want to encourage members of the public to get involved as well. This is not simply having established art and making it available to everybody. We're also using our platforms such as YouTube to persuade people to create their own art and share that and become famous and make money from it too. So to conclude, and I can smell your dinner, so you'll be glad to hear I'm close to the end. To conclude, really, I hope you've been enthused by things you've seen today. I hope we've showed you some things you haven't seen before. And of course, the message is incredibly clear. Really, it's all about embracing the possibilities, using the tools that are freely available to anyone, and getting stuck in. So I'm going to show you a little film to finish about a guy called Zach Materi. And he's one of the very few farmers in Kenya who is using the internet in his daily life. And I think right at the beginning of the afternoon, which you may, because it seems a long time ago now, Mo said, where is all of this leading? It's not clear where it's leading, but one thing is absolutely certain from everything we've heard this afternoon. Within a very small number of years, we'll have a situation where people have gone from having no information at all, or almost no access to information at all, which is, for example, the case of the Kenyan farmer, to being in a situation where most of the people on Earth have access to most of the world's information. And that really is a pretty startling thought. Let's hear the video.
Not long ago, I planted a crop of potatoes. Then suddenly they started dying one after the other. Checked out the books and they didn't tell me much. So I went and I did the search. Potato diseases. One of the websites told me that ants could be the problem. It said sprinkle wood ash over the plants. Then after a few days, the ants disappeared. I got excited about the internet. I have this friend who really would like to expand his business. So we went with him to the cyber cafe and we checked out several sites. When I met him next, he was going to put a windmill at a local school. I felt proud because something that wasn't there before was suddenly there. I realized that not everybody can be able to access what I was able to access. I thought that I need to have an internet that my grandmother can use. And so I thought about a notice board, a simple wooden notice board. When I get information on my phone, I'm able to post the information on the notice board. So it's basically like a computer. I use the internet to help people. I think I'm searching for a better life for me and my neighbors. So many people have access to information, but there's no follow-up to that. I think a follow-up to that is our knowledge. When people have the knowledge, they can find solutions without having to be helped out. Information is powerful, but it is how we use it that will define us.
Thank you very much. That's all. I'm out of time. We're out of time. I hope you've enjoyed the day. Thank you.